What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about who I think the Washington Wizards should of course be selecting with the 8th overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft. A team who is gonna, I think, need a lot of work going into this free agency. One of the, I think, biggest teams to watch to see, well, really, what are they going to be doing? There's a lot of free agents. There's a lot of players who I think this team will possibly trade and move on. There's definitely a huge, giant, my 600-pound type size of like a point guard that they just need to absolutely fill in. And hopefully, I think, you know, a little bit of a spoiler, but I do think hopefully I might have somewhat accomplished that with this video. Again, before we do get into it, I would just like to highly recommend that you guys go and check out my official 2023 NBA draft lottery, which will be linked in the description down below. That way you guys will be able to see who I have, you know, going to what team and whatnot. Just in case you were wondering, you know, why I didn't take a certain player with this pick and whatnot, it might have just been because obviously I've taken him with a higher pick to a different team. So definitely go and check out that video if you haven't already, just so you guys are all up to date. And yeah, I guess without further ado, let's just get straight into it with who I think the Washington Wizards should be selecting with the 8th overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft. Now, with the 8th overall pick, we have a team who, yeah, has definitely missed on some drafts. A team who I always want to succeed, but just doesn't really, and it's really confusing, really annoying, and I think they really need to nail this pick, and this is the Washington Wizards, of course. They desperately need a point guard more than anything that they've really needed in the last 10 or so years. Like, it is such an issue where you've constantly got players like Kyle Kuzma and Bradley Beal trying to set up this offense because they've just got no point guard there to distribute the ball, and it has become an issue for so long. And look, there's not really an exceptional point guard on the board right now, but I think there is a guy who would be at this pick 8 range or so, who I think would be really, really awesome for this Washington Wizards team, and that actually just happens to be Anthony Black, who I think makes a lot of sense if you bring him in, as he's a dude that is around 6'7", listed as a bit of a point forward who is actually being compared to Josh Giddey, which is a really awesome comparison. We know Josh Giddey is one of the best playmakers in the game, does absolutely freakish stuff on the court, and I don't think that Anthony Black's playmaking is just quite at what Josh Giddey's was when Giddey was playing for the Adelaide 36ers in the NBL. But when I look at Anthony Black, he makes up for it in other things, as he's a really solid shooter who has a pretty awesome mid-range. Again, his three-point shot is not exactly there, but he's definitely developing on it. And what I really like about it is he's actually being said that he's a pass-first player who the Wizards desperately need. Like, they've got shot creators all around him: Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, and I think Kristaps Porzingis. Wouldn't it be nice to have a dude like Anthony Black just come in and play make really, really well, be a pass first guy, and also a dude who can eventually develop his 3-point range? And when you've got Bradley Beal or Kyle Kuzma cooking it up, then you've got a dude like, I think, Anthony Black standing on that perimeter where he will hopefully be able to hit. What's awesome about Anthony Black is he also, I think, will be able to help out with the rebounding that Kristaps Porzingis doesn't necessarily have sometimes. We know Kristaps is a guy that likes to venture out to the 3-point line quite a bit, and when he shoots these threes, if they don't go in, there's never really anyone else there to get the boards, especially when Kristaps is playing that 5. You kind of rely on Kyle Kuzma to go do his thing, and Kyle Kuzma's not the greatest rebounder, if I'm going to be honest. I know his numbers do look good, but that's just because, again, Kristaps shoots so many threes, so they have to have a dude getting those rebounds. So I think you bring in a dude like Anthony Black, who's a taller point guard, who's going to be able to go in and help through that. Again, he's got a pretty good vision, though. Even though I said he's not as good as what Josh Giddey is, that's not necessarily saying he doesn't have a good vision. Again, as I said, he's a pass-first guy who's got a pretty good vision, pretty good around the rim as well, and has low-key sneaky quickness. it's being said. And again, he's got a beautiful jump shot. He hasn't been able to hit the 3-ball, but he's actually got a really, really nice and underrated mid-range as well. So, I just wonder, look, he's not the most athletic guy out there, but he's kind of that Josh Giddey prototype now that we're seeing that a lot of these players are really coming out of Australia. Like, you look at Dyson Daniels and Josh Giddey, both out of Australia, and even LaMelo Ball, who played in Australia. Anthony Black isn't from Australia, so I'm not sure if that's anything against him. Obviously, it's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Don't attack me in the comments. I'm Australian myself. I just like to amp up the country. But you know what, Anthony Black, I like this move for the Wizards. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think he honestly fills in a lot of the things that they don't have, and they desperately need defense, rebounding, and playmaking, I think. And you're going to bring in the playmaking and the rebounding with Anthony Black. You're going to bring in a quick dude as well. He's going to be a pass-first guy. Will he be there on the defensive end of the ball? Maybe. It's not, I think, officially going to be confirmed if he will be. I mean, when we look at that Josh Giddey comparison, Josh Giddey's either a really good defender or a, you know, you look at him and you're like, yeah, he's pretty slow and unathletic. I think Anthony Black is definitely got that unathletic part of him, but he's definitely not slow. He's, I think, much quicker than Giddey. So, on the defensive end of the ball, it's going to be an interesting thing, but I think he will help out in so many awesome and underrated ways with this Washington Wizards team, and he will definitely be a better pick, I believe, than a bunch of the players they've selected in previous years, and I think that's going to be a lot of comfort to know. And I think if you're Bradley Beal, you look at this and you go from having Delon Wright as your point guard, a guy who's like not a good passer at all, to a guy in Anthony Black who, look, he might not be the best passer in his first season. He might start off slow, but hey, maybe there's a chance if you tell him all you got to do is play make and get some boards. Maybe there's a chance he goes out and does exactly that. I doubt he's going to be trying to score over Beal, Porzingis, Kuzma, whoever it might be. He's just going to come in, I think, play make, be the pass-first point guard we know he can definitely be. And yeah, I think this is a really awesome and interesting prospect that I think Wizards fans are going to very, very like, especially if they decide to draft him here. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you guys agree with everything I've said with these picks 6 through 10? Of course, I would definitely like to know. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my IRL/vlog channel, my podcast. All of them will be linked in the description down below. My gaming channel as well. Go check them out. Most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Leave a like. Comment your thoughts and opinions. I'd very much like to hear them. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.